Ensuring you have the right export licence can be tricky.
We have suffered in our ability to do things we thought we could export weren't in our business licence. That's very, very difficult.
Understanding the specific customs requirements, the compliances, and probably more importantly the protocols within their bureaucracy would be the trickiest part. And a New Zealand company would really need to understand all of the steps in their supply chain to know what those protocols would be at every step of the way.
When you go in and you say, I want this licence or I need to set up this company, how long is it going to take me? Oh, 2 to 6 months. Well, you know, we would like something a bit more specific than that. You won't get it. And you just have to hope for the best and plan for the worst. And I think one thing China teaches you is to cover your downsides and your worst case scenarios.
Get to know the regulations that apply to your business and use them to your advantage.
With respect to Chinese labelling, many people will talk about Chinese labelling as a negative, the hurdle, the obstacle, having to comply with some very detailed and onerous regulations that relate to that. The whole application and approvals process is not an easy one and it can take a long period of time. The flip side is that there's, I think, an underutilised opportunity to communicate a lot more information to Chinese consumers that can really help them to understand and appreciate the products that much better. And the Chinese read Chinese, they don't read English, or certainly not all of them.
And beware the costs.
I think the number one risk that I've realised in the last few years is just cost for New Zealand companies dealing with New Zealand firms who then deal with a firm either in Hong Kong or in China.
But again, it comes down to your strategy. And if you are prepared and you understand in very good detail the steps that you need to go through to get to where you are in a regulatory sense and do them right. A lot of the delays are companies not paying enough attention to detail on their applications and having them rejected. And you've got to redo them and put them back in. So a lot of that is the company's own faults.
As long as the market develops, we found our cost is higher than a lot of the local Chinese companies. And we found that one of the only solution to get around with that is to set up our own factory and manufacture our own stuff here in China.
I think on a day-to-day basis, we're dealing with so many suppliers within China that getting them to understand how we want things, how urgently we need them, and the procedures that we have to go through to make sure they're right. Often on quality issues, they just have no concept of quality. Or if they do, it's a sliding quality standard where they say yes, they'll do it and then fudge it from there on.